If you think Peppa Pig is just a silly kid's cartoon, you're seriously missing out. Besides all the fun adventures, this little pink pig knows how to make everyone laugh for hours. And you remember the funniest and most embarrassing moments from the pig family and their friends? Miss Rabbit has fainted. Even if you've never watched Peppa Pig in your entire life, which is pretty unlikely, you've probably heard this phrase somewhere. This hilarious line from the show's narrator became a worldwide meme in multiple languages, all thanks to TikTok. In the episode The Queen, Miss Rabbit is rewarded for all her hard work with an honor from none other than Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II. When she reads the letter and realizes she's about to receive a medal in recognition of her dedication, the not-so-poor Miss Rabbit completely loses consciousness and collapses in front of everyone. Then, the narrator states the obvious. Miss Rabbit has fainted, but it gets even funnier when the Queen greets Miss Rabbit, making her faint once again. That's when the narrator delivers another legendary social media moment. Miss Rabbit has fainted again. This scene is so iconic that people all over the world have made millions of memes using the audio, flooding the internet with them. Just thinking about it is enough to make you laugh. But before you pass out from laughter, let's jump into 15 of the funniest Peppa Pig moments. Grab your popcorn and join us. There are 2 moments in the episode Masks that will have you rolling on the floor laughing. When we were in preschool, our teachers let us do all sorts of fun arts and crafts. And of course, one of the most exciting things was using glitter. The problem is, no one warns kids that glitter is a total nightmare. It gets everywhere and never ever comes off. In this episode, Madame Gazelle asks the students to make masks for their art class. The kids want to use glitter to make them extra sparkly, and that's when the first funny moment happens. Madame Gazelle's face instantly changes when Snoozy asks to use glitter. Her eyes go wide with sheer horror. Right away, you can tell how terrified she is of glitter, but after the kids keep insisting, she finally agrees. Then she walks toward a door. You'd think it's just a regular supply cabinet, but nope, it's a full-on vault with steel doors, like she's hiding radioactive materials. And all of that is just to keep the glitter locked away. And honestly, she has a point. Be careful. Once glitter falls on the floor, it never disappears. Another ridiculously funny moment is when Madame Gazelle takes her class on a trip to the zoo. As soon as the group arrives, an employee suddenly appears and Madame Gazelle screams, "The lion has escaped!" This moment is already hilarious, but it gets even better when you realize that, in real life, lions actually eat gazelles. Wait a second, why is the vampire lady scared? This is the Peppa Pig universe. Big cats aren't predators here, or are they? Later, Mrs. Crocodile shows up, and once again Madame Gazelle freaks out, and honestly, she might be right this time. No one really understands how this character even exists, considering most of Peppa Pig's world is full of mammals. If you nearly peed yourself laughing at the parachute jump episode, get ready. We've got 3 moments from this story that will make you lose it all over again. You might want to grab a diaper. When Peppa convinces the entire town that Mummy Pig is going to skydive to raise money for the school's roof, a magical moment unfolds. Madame Gazelle hires Mr. Rabbit as the skydiving instructor. Okay, fair enough. Hiring a rabbit to teach jumping makes sense. But when Mummy Pig asks if she needs training, Mr. Rabbit responds, "Training for what?" As if he has no idea that she's about to jump out of an actual airplane. The second funny moment happens when Mummy Pig takes the tiniest step and Mr. Rabbit immediately declares she's ready. And of course, the absolute best part of the episode is when Daddy Pig falls out of the plane and crashes into the exact same spot on the school roof, breaking it all over again. Mr. Potato is one of the biggest TV celebrities in Peppa's world. He visits Peppa's town for a special fan event to teach kids about healthy eating. When he starts explaining that everyone should eat healthy foods like fruits and vegetables, Peppa asks him if people should eat potatoes too. And that's where things get weird, because potatoes are, well, edible in Peppa's world too. Do you prefer your potatoes fried or baked? Comment #fried so we can eat together. Did you ever notice that Susie completely lost her mind one day? One fine day, the little sheep made Peppa look like a fool by creating an imaginary friend named Leo who obviously doesn't exist. But you have to play along. Being a good friend, Peppa pretends to see Rio and joins the game. It's hilarious because Susie starts making Leo's voice with her mouth. But the moment Peppa tries to do the same, Susie immediately scolds her. "Don't talk for my imaginary friend." "Excuse me? What?" Has a little sheep gone mad? Daddy Pig is a character who constantly gets into accidents, and one of the funniest ones happens when Aunt Dottie sends the kids a wheeled horse toy. Daddy Pig loves the idea of riding the toy down the hill where the pig family lives. But the problem is, the horse has no brakes, and the hill is really steep. It doesn't take long for Daddy Pig to lose control and crash straight into a puddle full of ducks. Have you ever had to teach your grandparents how to use a computer? It's not nice to make fun of older people struggling with technology, but when it's this funny, it's impossible not to laugh. In the episode about Grandpa Pig's new computer, Peppa teaches him how to use his gaming PC, if we can even call it that. The best game is the one where you lay chicken eggs, but Granny Pig loves it so much that she ends up laying over 4,000 eggs in the game. This makes the computer say, "I am broken. I am very broken." Like a sick person.
I am very broken.
That doesn't sound good.
Mommy Pig is also a character who never fails to make fans laugh, especially because she's a pig that can make other animal sounds. Don't remember that? Let's remind you. In the episode about Grandpa Pig's attic, Mommy Pig finds an old children's music record she used to listen to as a kid. Suddenly, she starts dancing to the beat of a song that forces people to sing like a bird and bark like a dog. But the funny part is, she's a pig. Going back to the episode with Mr. Potato's visit, we have a joke that's so dumb that it makes you laugh just because of how dumb it is. Peppa and her classmates are excited to learn that their school will be sending drawings to Mr. Potato's TV show. Everyone puts in a lot of effort to create the best drawing. Everyone except Emily Elephant, who decides to get creative and draw the easiest thing in the world, a pea, meaning just a tiny green dot on a white sheet of paper. Imagine your teacher saying, "Draw some vegetables, kids," and you make just a single green dot in the middle of a page and have the guts to say it's a pea. Don't be lazy like Emily. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. For the 1,000th time, the school roof is broken, and once again, Madame Gazelle wants to hold a fundraiser. The students and their families gather old things to sell. Peppa starts the episode by trying to get rid of George's dinosaur, but luckily, Mummy and Daddy Pig tell her that's wrong. That's a bit hypocritical of you, Mummy Pig, because you secretly donate Daddy Pig's chair without him knowing. The funniest part is when Daddy Pig buys back his own chair, which he never even wanted to sell, for way more money because Miss Rabbit claims it's a rare antique. Poor Daddy Pig. Have you ever seen someone dig a giant hole just to fix a tiny one that only needed a bit of cement? In the porcelain shop episode, we see Mr. Bull digging up a road to replace a pipe. So far, so good. But when it's time for tea, Mr. Bull breaks all the cups and has to visit Miss Rabbit's ceramic shop. Outside the shop, he sees a small hole in the road that he could simply ignore. But no, that's not how Mr. Bull operates. He just has to dig all the way down. Instead of just catching the hole, Mr. Bull decides to fix it in a very different way, by using a jackhammer to make it even bigger. And what happened to the hole? We'll never know, because the episode just ends right there. Has anyone ever shown up at your house without warning? A really funny moment happened when Kylie Kangaroo and her family decided to visit the pig family. But there's a small problem. No one ever invited the kangaroos over for a barbecue. And yes, having a good barbecue with friends is great, and maybe we should plan one for our channel too. But in Peppa Pig, the kangaroos from Australia show up in England out of nowhere, claiming they all know each other from the airport. The funny thing is, Daddy Pig doesn't remember that at all. Then, out of nowhere, they just start grilling some meat. No one really understood what happened, but at least everyone had fun. Just be careful with random strangers knocking on your door. You probably know a lot of other funny moments from Peppa Pig, like animation mistakes and the jokes Peppa makes. We're definitely going to talk more about this, but in the meantime, we've got more content for you to enjoy. See you next time.